protests against the general election have erupted in Tanzania. Several people are reported injured as police used tear gas on demonstrators. Well, now to Tanzania, where protests in the country's main city, Dar es Salaam, over the ongoing general election have turned violent. Police used tear gas to break up opposition protests against the election, which is widely expected to be won by ruling President Samia Suluhu. Several people are reported to have been injured. All right, let's cross live now to RT correspondent Noluvuyo Kunge for more on these protests. Vuvu, the government has pledged a crackdown on any disorder, which shows no sign of abating. What more do we know about the events on the ground?
Absolutely, Rachel. What we do know is that protesters have taken to the streets in Dar es Salaam, in Arusha, as well as Mwanza. They are condemning what many are calling a stage-managed election. You would remember that this is a country long seen as one of East Africa's more stable democracies, but it is now in the grips of political tensions not seen since the Magufuli era. You would have seen those visuals of protesters defying a heavy police presence, denouncing what they describe as a democracy without choice. This anger stems exactly from that, from the exclusion of the two biggest opposition forces, Chadema and Act Wazalendo, from this year's elections. Both these political parties, which are known for their strong and outspoken criticism of government, were disqualified under controversial circumstances. For Chadema, the blow was particularly heavy. Its leader, Tundu Lissu, a lawyer and a human rights activist and advocate who survived an assassination around 2017, was once again detained earlier this month because he accused government of weaponizing the Electoral Commission. Authorities charged him with treason and incitement, charges his supporters insist are purely political. The other opposition force, Act Wazalendo, has faced its own share of state pressure. The party's presidential candidate was barred from contesting, with officials challenging his nomination papers, a move also described by citizens as questionable but politically convenient. But this isn't the first time that Tanzania's democratic credentials have come under scrutiny, because since the death of former president, the current president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, promised reform and reconciliation. But today's events paint a different picture, one where opposition political parties are suffocated and digital blackouts limit transparency, because there's also reports that confirm that internet access has been blocked, so that most people from the outside and other journalists from outside of Tanzania are not able to see the scale of the discontent that we are talking about here. So what is unfolding in Tanzania is not just an election dispute, it is a test of Tanzania's political maturity. But President Hassan's government insists that the vote is fair and peaceful, even though opposition supporters and civil society groups tell a different story, one of unrest, one of censorship, and a people increasingly unwilling to be silenced.
RT correspondent Noluvuyo Kunge. Vuvu, thank you.